Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got a beautiful day upon us here. So grab yourself a refreshment of your choice. Have a slurp. Let's get that posture up. Let's get serious here. This episode is brought to you by Spade. Premium sparkling soda. There's 0 sugar, 0 calories, all natural, 6 flavors: cola, yuzu, lime, guava, blueberry, acai, kiwi, strawberry. Dr. Spade, only 6 ingredients, including water, sweetened with the most premium and pure form of stevia on the market, no bitter aftertaste, caffeine-free, dye-free, added electrolytes for a hydration benefit, just as healthy as a sparkling water and just as flavorful as a traditional soda. These are very good. That's Spade, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the link to Spade is in the bio. It's the Amazon link, and use code TimboSpade10. The link is in the bio. That's TimboSpade10. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and this episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. And it's so simple. Win or lose, every new user who plays a $5 lineup will receive $50 instantly. It's a guaranteed win. This new promotion provides unbeatable value, making it a no-brainer. And they got a free square this week. Free square. Izzy Adesanya has to land more than one significant strike, and you know he's going to do that. So you can pick one more box, or you can pick a few more boxes there, and make yourself some cheddar. That's PrizePicks, code Timbo. Okay, we're here with the great Eric Nicksick. It's at Eric_XC MMA on Instagram if you want to shoot him a follow. And he's one of the great MMA coaches of our day. He's the head coach of Xtreme Couture and the head coach of many great fighters. And Coach of the Year in 2020. Didn't you win it again? I thought you won it again.
Yeah, I won 3, but like all 3 different publications: MMA Junkie, ESPN, Yahoo, but it was all in different years.
Yeah, and Coach Eric is one of the guys who is also trained by Robert Follis. We were both trained by Robert Follis back in the day. What are some things that Robert Follis used to do that you really took from him?
Communication. I think understanding your fighter. I think taking the time to get to know the athlete. He used to always talk to us about, each fighter had these specific gauges in them, or like kind of rankings, if you will. There was the fighter element, the athlete, and the competitor. He used to talk about Chael. He would talk about Randy. He would talk about Lieben, and how each one of them were driven in different ways. And the analogy he always would talk about is having different keys to open those doors and being able to understand how to connect with those athletes to get the best out of them. But to also understand that over the years, those little attributes might change depending on who they are, what their environment looks like. So the example he always gave to me was like Lieben was brought up in such a, tumultuous childhood, and had it like just, he was angry. He was very angry, and his fighter element was always at a 10. So he was able to win a lot of his fights on pure anger alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then over time, he kind of got humanized, right? He had a girlfriend, he would get married, he'd have kids, whatever it may be. And that element, that environment that he was always in as this fighter, has now changed. So now he's relying on all these other attributes that weren't very strong. He wasn't a great athlete, and he wasn't a great competitor, but he was relying on, I hate somebody and I want to kill them, and that kind of went away. So it was always interesting in hearing, like, with Randy, the competitor, and how he liked everybody. He never wanted to harm anybody, but he wanted to win, and Chael was the ultimate athlete. So that was one thing that always stood out to me about Follis, was just a mental connection. He was always going to be a great tactician. I think he understood the sport well, but it was how he connected with the athletes that I was always inspired by.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're both so lucky to be able to learned from him back in the day and take so many gems from him. But I'm always impressed with you. Like, how do you handle having so many guys under you, and especially high level guys? Because you probably have some days in your training room, what, 20, 30 UFC guys, not just MMA guys, UFC guys in your room. And probably a lot of guys are looking up to you, wanting your time. Plus you have kids, plus you have all these things going on. I just don't know how you give all these fighters what they expect.
Honestly, for me, Tim, I really lean on the program, right? The gym. We have so many great coaches within the facility, and I think it's important to trust, the guys around you and give them opportunities not only to financially take care of themselves, but to be in our roles as well. So, like a lot of fighters, bro, I only take 5% because I want like Coach Eddie to have his 5% so he can have a life and a family, but also feel as if that there's self-actualization there. He's improving these guys, and he has skin in the game. And we're able to give all of these fighters the attention that they need when you have 8 coaches spreading it across and giving them everything they need. We have guys in the gym that I don't coach in corner, and they're world champions. Patchy Mix, for example, he's our teammate. I'll help him whenever he needs, but he's got Coach Nate, and he's got other guys in the gym that help him. So I'm happy to see, like, when we get nominated for Gym of the Year, because I know what we're doing is working, and everyone there is eating, and everyone there is getting taken care of. The coaches are all buying new cars, and the parking lot's getting upgraded. So that to me is really what we need when you have a big gym is the depth of coaching staff, and just everybody that can kind of help out one another when guys are out of town.
Yeah, that makes sense. And God, I just had the question on the top of my head, but I just lost it. You're getting into your podcast now. How's that stuff been going? You're getting into your YouTube grind now.
Yeah, and I feel goofy. Not I say goofy, but it's uh, like just what the world needed, right? Like one more freaking podcast. So, but I'm actually having a lot of fun with it because we're kind of making it our own in a sense where like I can just kind of be me and talk shit and have fun. And then I really like Randy. We've been friends for a long time. He used to work for the UFC, and now he works for Francis. And then we have a lot of guys in Vegas, a lot of resources to talk to other people, and kind of get our opinion out there. So it's been a lot of fun, man. It's all about getting reps and getting better at it.
Dude, for sure. Plus, you have so many experiences that no one will ever get close to having that you can give back, and you're a knowledgeable guy. So it's going to be a good podcast. I think people like it. It's called Verse Us with Eric Nicksick on YouTube, if you guys want to check it out. But say you're coaching a guy, and he comes up to you, and he says he wants to get a little bit of cross training in, and he wants to go to a different gym and maybe work with a different coach, or he does already work with a different coach. Because some coaches really hate that, and they really want to keep everything in-house. They get really weird about that. How do you look about that?
I'm all for it, to be honest with you, and I think it's kind of important, especially sometimes outside of camp. I'll use Dan Ige for an example. I mean, that's my guy. We've been together since the regional scene. And then Ige might be go out to train with Trevor Whitman or go to train with Henry Cejudo or whatever it may be. I think it's very important to get a fresh mindset, a fresh slate of things. And it's like, dude, it's like when your girlfriend goes out for girls' night or ladies' night. I know you're coming home.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're coming back home. So I'm okay with it. And sometimes they come back home and go, you know what, man, I know what I have. I really enjoy what we have here. And then like Ige will come back with some different ideas and different perspectives from other coaches. And we get, as coaches, sometimes we get tunnel vision, and we focus so much on something that we might be hyper focused on certain techniques or certain this or certain that. And it's always nice to get a different perspective or a different set of ideas and brought back to you, or maybe you're doing something. And I like to go cross train. Like when I come out to Arizona, I'm calling John Crouch, hey, can I come by?
Mm-hmm.
And he's such an open door guy, or at least trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, come in, man. We might even be fighting some of these guys down the line. But I think at the end of the day, like Randy always said, there's no secrets in this game, and I'm always okay with having guys come train, and I'm okay with guys cross training.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too, especially if I really care about this kid and he thinks it might be better for him to go train somewhere else. I'm going to just be all on board, like, and try to
Yeah.
support it. But it does get get a little bit weird, because you guys don't have much gym drama in Vegas, or do you have just as much as everyone else?
I'm sure we have just as much as everyone else, but you know, it's the personalities and the egos that are always going to clash, and that's just the sport that we have. But it's just how do you manage it and how do you put out the fire as quick as possible? You know, like recently, Sean Strickland and Chris Curtis are going back and forth on Twitter, just and like they get into it. They're like brothers, and
Mhm.
that's going to happen. And they're both big egos and big personalities, you know. And I got back home from Manchester. I brought Sean in the office, and I'm like, dude, you make us look like dickheads. You guys are on Twitter going back and forth and buying edible arrangements, and this guy's writing you breakup letters on Twitter. I go, you got his fucking phone number. He's like, yep, you're right. I'm an idiot. And he goes, I won't do it again. I'm sorry, you know. But
Yeah.
that's just what we deal with on. And sometimes it's funny, and we can go back and forth. But you're absolutely right, man. It's like, you know, every gym's going to have those issues. I think, you know, the females can always stir it up even more.
Yeah.
So it's just how do you navigate it? So it's a daily battle.
Yeah, for sure. I'm freaking learning about it too. One thing I really respect about you is like you hold pads for these hard hitting dudes. You got Brad Tavares, you got Francis Ngannou, all these guys that are 185 pounds and over. And I always said, I'm like, if I get anyone who hits hard any harder than Sugar, then I don't know if I'm going to hold for him. To be honest with you, I might hold the paddles here and there, but how do you do it? And are your shoulders holding up?
My right shoulder's shot, man.
Fuck.
So I'm constantly just digging, getting stem cells, and I just had it cleaned up last month. Dr. Yi went in there and cleaned up all the scar tissue for me. It definitely does need surgery, but I don't have the luxury of being out for 7 to 8 months. Especially right now in my career, I want to be hands on as a coach. I want to be able to still continue to hold pads. I think for me, the vision of seeing the combinations and trying to get them to do what I want or what I can kind of picture, you know, within the creativity of what we do is important for me to be able to hold. You know, and thankfully I'm a big dude. You know, I was an outside linebacker
Mm,
and try to stay, you know, within that big dude realm. But it's hard. You can't work out as much anymore because your shoulder's always messed up.
fuck.
You know, so I'm beat to shit, man. Thank God for the ice bath and you know, taking care of myself with the real rehab or stem cells or whatever I can get done.
Dude, and hopefully those stem cells work out, because I remember about 4 months after my stem cells in my shoulder, I was like, fuck, they're not working. I still can't do shit. I thought I was going to have to be done with everything. And then that fourth month, just randomly, I'm like, holy shit. And that puppy's back to 100%. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm hoping, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Izzy versus DDP this weekend, and you cornered against DDP. You cornered against Izzy. I mean, for all these fights, I know it's just so hard to say. It's almost like most of the time it's who can show up the most healthy, prepared, and sharpest on that night. So it's so hard to say. But in your opinion, standing across from both of those guys, who do you think's going to get it done?
Bro, this is a coin flip to me. Really is. I think the odds are spot on. I think Dricus is finally getting the notoriety or the respect that he's earned. You know, he's still an underdog, but it's a very slight underdog. But you're talking about a slight underdog against arguably the best middleweight to ever do it in Israel Adesanya. Um, Izzy didn't look great his last fight. Obviously, you know, Sean was able to take him out pretty, I would say easy, but it leads you to wonder, was he okay? It leads you to wonder, was he not the best Israel Adesanya? So he's got a lot to prove in this fight. I think the division's only better with him in it and competing at a high level. You know, it's one of those fights where you know, you and I talk on Sunday. Are you going to be surprised if Izzy ran through Dricus?
No.
No, not at all.
Mhm.
You know, and then on the flip side of that, I think Dricus has done enough, especially in his Robert Whitaker performance, where I hold Robert Whitaker as 1B in that division,
Mhm.
and he ran through him.
Yeah.
You know, so Dricus to me has started to understand more about what he's trying to accomplish within his striking rather than this kind of like juggernaut run forward, just throwing weird shit. And that's hard to prepare for, right? I mean, there's not many guys you can get into the gym and go, hey, can you spar like Dricus?
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
fucking know what he's doing. But I think he's starting to understand what he's doing and what he's trying to accomplish as a mixed martial artist. And I think that's what's kind of made him dangerous. But along that time, what's he been building, man? Confidence.
Yep.
He's building that confidence. So he's got a swagger about him and an aura about him that I picked up on when we were in Toronto. And he's almost like, just, I wouldn't say this to be dismissive. It's like he's like almost like dumb enough to always believe like he just oh, I can beat anybody in the world. And you're like, all right, man, like
Yeah.
keep that energy, bro. And he's really done it, man. And I'm proud of him and I'm proud of his coach because those guys had a lot of doubt and he's gone out there and done the job.
Yeah, it's weird when you watch him on paper. You're like, man, he's floating his chin when he's sprinting forward. He's switching his stances, no rhyme or reason. But he's just this like, I don't know if it's athletic, but it kind of is athletic. Not very rhythmy, like not a great rhythm, but just explosive, athletic beast. And for Strickland, how many times was he able to take down Sean? Was it?
I think it took him down 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like, and we caught on to it right away after the first round. It was that 30 seconds, right? Like a old school Robert Follis, like, hey, 30 seconds, steal that round up.
Mm-hmm.
So right when that 30-second, I heard him call something. I'm like, hey, watch for the takedown. And it was just good optics, right? It was just good aesthetics for the judges to see. Didn't hold him down, didn't keep him down long, but it was a good thing to change the race. And it was another credible piece of scoring criteria that the judge will go, well, it was a close round, but this guy did score a cheap takedown. It was
Mm-hmm.
very smart of him in that regard. So I could see them implementing a little bit in their game plan. The thing that you mentioned that makes so much sense when it comes to this matchup is the erratic nature of Dricus is very similar to the erratic nature of Sean. Different styles of striking, but albeit very erratic. And I think that is going to be key when you fight a guy who is, such a beautiful and precise striker in Israel Adesanya, who wants harmony, right? Like cleanness of
Mm-hmm.
his striking. You almost want to combat it with a guy who colors outside the lines,
Yeah.
that just kind of breaks the rules. And that's where I think when Sean fought Izzy, that was a lot of our game plan was be goofy, be erratic, throw things from weird angles and give him a different rhythm than he's accustomed to.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely froze him up. Yeah, I'm curious with Izzy. What was he doing in this last year? Was he really training or was he really taking some time off? Because he's got some heavy bread from headlining all those pay-per-views. So I'm excited because you can't do MMA math. Like Izzy's more of a pinpoint striker. He could knock you out backing up. And who's going to be on, who's going to be healthy that night. We're going to see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. So sometimes these big middleweights come in, say like Khamzat comes into the gym and he asks you if he can train, and now he wants to spar with Strickland. How do you go about just kind of monitoring that, not let that get out of hand? Or does it just a lot of times get out of hand?
Yeah, I mean, it happened, and those guys, they were in the gym for a month or two, but they treated the gym as if it was their own. This is back, maybe a little post pandemic, 2021 or 2022 or something like that. Um, and it became you'll know right away. And are these guys here to use our sparring part or our team, our gym as like sacrificial lambs? Or are they here to contribute to the gym and the team? And you'll know that right away. And those guys were there to contribute. Had they been there just to like, hey, we can knock these dudes out. We don't care about these guys. This is not our team. I would have kicked them all out. It would have mattered.
Mm-hmm.
But Khamzat, Darren Till, and the guys over there at his gym all came in, and then we actually kept Sadabusi. He stayed here. He stayed at Xtreme, and he wanted to stay with the gym. So we got a great teammate out of the situation by allowing us to open the doors and allowing those guys to be in the gym. And, I trained with Khamzat quite a bit, and I learned a lot from him. I gained a lot of knowledge by working with him. And people ask like, hey, you might corner against him one day. Well, you might corner against a lot of people, and that's just the sport. I had a corner against Anthony Smith recently. Chris Curtis signed to fight Kevin Holland, who I trained a bunch. But if you're not there, you're not in the gym, and you're not part of the team, then you might come across one of these guys, later on down the line, and it's just part of the sport.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So how much are you traveling? How many times a month?
Ugh.
Usually three or four?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. There was one month, I think July I was gone the entire month. August I think I only have, when was that? Manchester? That was end of July. Was it? I don't even know, bro. I think I
Mm.
only travel once in August. So sometimes it's the entire month, sometimes it's twice. But I've been trying to hopefully break it up enough to where, I'm only gone like maybe once or twice. And then, 3 kids at home and the wife, and now they're in school. My oldest daughter's a junior in high school. So, the one resource in life we don't get back is our time. So when you're giving your time away to people that don't appreciate it, that's when it's hard and that's when it's tough, and you're missing out on that family, because pretty soon they're all going to be, heading off to college and out of the house. So I'm trying to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, especially, I mean, you decide to leave for a week, leave your kids for a week, leave your wife for a week, and then you're training this fighter. Then a month down the road, the fighter leaves, and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah, bro, what
Oh
do I
my
do all
god.
that for?
Yeah. So how do they treat you in Saudi Arabia when you went out there to quarter Francis? Did they treat you guys like kings?
It was different, right? It's just a different culture, but yes. So I mean, it was the first time. I mean, dude, first class. You're flying down there like beds that lay out. And I'm like, this is freaking amazing. We're staying in these villas. All the food is comped and taken care of. But you're like in the middle of the desert and you can't do shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, we're gonna take great care of you, but you got to stay in this jail cell. You're like, oh man. So it's a lot of it becomes a lot of about perspective, and then there's the team bonding elements. Like you can sit in your room and do nothing, or we brought spike ball, we were playing the PlayStation and having Madden tournaments, and doing things as a team to build that camaraderie. You try to make the most of it, but there's not a whole lot to do out there, man. It's just a lot of sitting around and then just train. That's it. Train and play PlayStation.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we got a big one coming up here at the Sphere. We're taking on the little machine Merab, who's on a 10-fight win streak, and he truly is an animal. I mean, you watch his fights, how many times he's shooting, he just doesn't even care. He doesn't even think about fatiguing. I don't even think that's in his mind, is fatiguing. Took out Jose Aldo, took out Peter Yan, took out Henry Cejudo, and now taking on the Sugar Show. And I'm sure you've seen Merab train quite a bit. What do you think that fight looks like?
Uh, you know, this is not because I'm on your show, and I know Merab personally, but I feel like the way that Sugar slides in and out of stance and is able to use his distance, I think Merab runs into something. That's just my overall gut on the way I've seen Merab fight and spar. That if you can go on a half beat angle and play a little matador, but Suge is a sharpshooter when it comes to those situations. If he's in an orthodox stance and is able to slide and use his front leg to get to his back leg, shake step, his left cross is going to be available, right? And I think about when you don't stay in a stance, it's very hard to get a read on where your front leg is and how to penetrate. So when you talk about stylistic matchups, I think Suge has the ability, the skill set to be able to find Merab's chin if he has this just forward fucking I'm rushing in.
Yep.
Now, Merab surprised the shit out of me in the Piotr Yan fight. And I think a lot of us were like, "Oh, okay, this
Hmm.
dude is title worthy." But I think you're able to take a lot from that fight and study on how to beat Merab in that regard. I think he showed a lot in that fight. So it's like, hey, man, we're not trying to get in a wrestling match with this dude. We're not trying to out grapple this dude. We're trying to walk him into something. And I think when you look at skill set, who's one of the best in the game to do that? Sean O'Malley.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm excited for it, and it's really easy to get motivated for this fight because he's a serious problem. That little dude, crazy little dude.
100%.
So, well, Eric, thank you so much, brother. I know you got to teach practice, and you got so much shit going on, and having the what's up, Nick?
One more question.
1 second.
Hey, one more question. Can you hear me
Yeah, I got you.
okay? What is your official prediction for Izzy versus DDP, and also how's Francis doing with his upcoming fight on October 19th in the PFL?
Man, official prediction. I've gone back and forth. I've said Dricus, I've said Izzy, I said, and I think there's just so much up in the air. But Tim brought up a great point. And this is something that I noticed when Sean fought Dricus. There was a lot of openings and reads that I was getting that Dricus head placement was when he would throw these looping overhands and he would kind of rush forward. He would leave his head off center line, but his non-throwing hand, his defensive hand, was never in the right place. And I feel like in talking even with Tim and a guy like Izzy, and we're talking about guys who are sharpshooters, when guys see offense coming at them, they're not so worried about the offense. They're looking at the gap in your defense. They're looking at the hole. And a guy like Izzy will find that hole. So if Dricus kind of comes rushing forward and throwing these big looping overhands and his hands stay down, I think Izzy will find him with like one of those crash elbows. I was asking Strickland to throw a knee up the middle when Dricus was throwing his overhand just to cover with the lead side and then throw a back knee up. I could see Izzy seeing that read as well and then actually landing it and doing that. So I've gone back and forth on this. I think they both have passed the victory. I lean a little bit more towards Dricus just because of time served, but I wouldn't be surprised if Izzy knocked this dude out.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Just going back and forth, who shows up on that night? Yeah, and the second one, how's Francis' training going for his MMA?
He's been great, man. When his son passed away, that was probably the hardest coaching I think in my career. Right? Like you say, coaching, it was the hardest fight, bro. I mean, we weren't fighting anybody in front of us. We were fighting, to help this man heal. I don't ever. You never wish on your worst enemy for them to lose a child, and just seeing what he's been through and seeing what that took out of him. We were fighting for something different, man. So when he decided that he wanted to go back and compete, I was happy for him. I really was, because I wouldn't have been surprised that he's got enough money. He can ride off in the sunset, and he's got businesses that are going to keep him afloat. I wouldn't be surprised if he said, you know what, man, this is it for me. I'm hanging it up. But when he said, hey, I want to fight, I think being back in the training room has helped him heal. It's kept his mind off of the tragic loss of his son, Kobe, and it reinvigorated him. So how he told me we were fighting, we went to dinner and he kind of told me the situation. And then, dude, like it was like chilling. He looked over at me and he said, Bubba, we're fighting this one for Kobe. And I was like, oh shit, man.
Oof,
Who's
fuck.
ever in front of this dude? This next one's for Kobe. That's what he said. And that's the way he said it. And he had tears running down his face. And so he's got some different motivation now, man. And not only is he fighting for his deceased son, he's fighting for his legacy, his
Yeah.
MMA legacy. That's for sure. So we got a lot to do, but he's been doing great. I'll see him next week out in DC. We're going to do the press conference out there for the PFL. I'll be there with Kai Kamaka. We'll get some work in, and then we're going to decide on where we're going to do training camp, which might be between Paris and Dubai. So I'll be in one of those spots for pretty much the month of October.
Damn. That's awesome, dude. So what's your last question here? What's your most memorable moment as a coach so far? One or two that just stick out the most? Is Strickland one of them? It's got to be.
It's got to be, right? Like, when you win those world titles, and that I wrote you the day when you guys won. We were in Boston together, I think, because I had Brad Tavares on that card. And like, it's like, bro, it's such a weird fraternity that we're all in, right? Like, we're so fortunate to be able to not only just be in a title fight, but to actually obtain it. And like, I from the outside perspective, I mean, I met you back in like 2013, and I know your relationship with Sean. And I was so happy for the both of you in a different way. It wasn't like, it was just like the relationship that you both believed in, right? Like, okay, I trust you, you trust me, you're gonna be my guy. We're gonna go through fucking hell and back. And then when you won that belt and realized that, I just was like, I know that feeling, and I was so happy for you guys. So yeah, like with Sean, we're what, 5-1 underdog, 6-1 underdog. No one gave us a shot in hell. And to be able to go out there and get that win, and Francis Ngannou being able to go beat Stipe Miocic, a guy who already took him out, and everybody doubting him on that. So anytime you win that belt and you're able to, do the thing when Francis beat Gone, I think those ones are always going to rank up there pretty high for you.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Well, dude, thanks so much. I look up to you a lot. I've learned so much from you already just watching you coach and the way you run the program, and it's fucking badass to watch. So everyone who's listening to, go give Coach Eric a follow. And thank you so much, Eric. You are the man, brother.
Proud of you, brother. Family, dude.
Diesel,
How we doing, man?
Hey, down, buddy.
you got your new V-neck on?
Oh, V-neck. I'm going to try to grow a goatee, too.
So if you guys want to see fashion, are you going with the goatee?
Yep.
Holy
Damn
shit.
right. It's
A whole new attitude. Okay, we're here. We're back again with Joe Diesel Riggs, and he's trying to grow his goatee in here, and it's looking good. And he's also got his V-neck from his senior photo year.
2010s.
2010 V-neck straight from Target for the 2-for-1.
Oh, you motherfucker. Target. It went from the last one and it stopped at Target this one. Fucking life.
And Joe Diesel, thankfully, isn't in jail because he called me last night. He had a guy eyeballing him at the dispensary. And it's like, I don't know if you're walking into these places hoping somebody eyeballs you, because I could do that too, walk into a place and start mean mugging people. All I do is when I walk in, I see someone mean mugging me, I go, I give him no, not like that. I just give him a
Ma'am.
I'm saying, yeah. No.
Evening.
And you and Jill will walk duck-footed and try to just shoulder bump everyone in the store.
See, I didn't know if I was going to be locked up last night, but so I was somewhere, I was buying something. I was at a smoke shop, let's be honest. And
Buying yourself a what was it?
I don't know what does mash those things up?
Mash the flour up.
Yeah.
Would be, I think that'd be a grinder.
Okay. Touche. Okay, so but I'm at the counter, and when people walk in, you turn and look at him. I'm not being a dick. I look over and he's got.
But you look over and you can look over and look nice. Yeah, look a little
so
nice or not.
I don't look nice. I mean, I wasn't even. I was like.
We don't even know where you're at.
Yeah. It's and the first thing he says, "The fuck you looking at?" And that's all. I mean, you know.
So he said, "What the fuck you looking at?" And he's a bigger guy.
Yeah, he's about. He's on the wiry side, but he's kind of built like fucking. I don't know. He's like 6'3", like.
And then you said,
"What the fuck you looking
African fella."
What are you looking at? I said.
And then what'd he say?
So what the fuck you looking at? And then he tried to chest bump me. He got real into my personal space, and
he walked up to you face to face and tries to go chest to chest.
Yeah, which is fucking nuts. And just that check hook comes out just not. It's instinctive and hits him in the lips and
right hook dink. Yeah. And was that outside the store? Or was it inside the store? And was everyone screaming?
There was only the cashier. That was there, but yeah, he was yelling at me.
So if they do end up getting that footage, the cops, they'll see you're he's rolling up to you with bad intentions.
So after I talked to you last night, I almost went back just to say, hey, I'm here. Who this? Because they're gonna look at the tapes, like who's that fucking guy, and somebody will know who I am. And then
I'm here. I have a goatee.
I have a goatee. I'm not trying to hide who I look like. Because last night, it's funny. Last night, Lisa told me to put the Bic to it, and so I did. And it could come off as I'm trying to look different, but no.
Well, did the kid wake up before you left?
No, he did not.
And
I shouldn't say that because I drove. So he wasn't up on his feet yet. Yeah, but he deserved it, man. Fucking, I swear.
Well, if he rolls up to you, you don't know what he's gonna do. He could be the one to swing first. And if he's looking at chest,
usually I never.
Bump you.
Yeah. So he didn't like come close and square up or kind of, stand in a like 3 feet away where it's not a.
He tried to go head to head.
Yeah, he sort of a motherfucker never been in a fight apparently because I don't look. This is my face. I don't look like the nicest guy. So I mean, when he was looking at me, it was maybe 10 seconds of staring for him, like what the fuck, and my neck had to lurch behind me. And
so if you would have hit him and he hits his back of the head and now he died,
that's what scares me.
What would have happened?
I'd go to jail for probably. I mean, not involuntary manslaughter. Probably.
Would you though? He's
sure.
rolling up to you. You felt threatened.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I'll tell you the hook's a thing of beauty, man. I don't even know.
I mean, you got a fucking nice right hook.
I don't even know where it comes from. It's not like I'm thinking, throw this motherfucker when he gets close. It just
through instinct.
Yeah, it just comes out. But and the noise he made was.
Well, hopefully that doesn't come back and get. We don't get a ticket or anything.
But why can't? Why? Yeah, I did. Yeah, why? Right in the lips too. right in that
Stinking fucking breath.
yeah, I'm sure his teeth. I noticed his teeth were large and yellow, and because I noticed that before I even said what the fuck's wrong. But yeah, I don't regret it. I mean, it's like if you let somebody what if you hit me in the beak and
Exactly.
I come in the day too, I swelled shut. I let him get too close to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart. If you feel threatened, don't let someone roll up face to face with you.
No, again, like I was talking about with the Merab thing. Yeah, it's you gotta the ability to jump off first, crack somebody first. And no, I'm proud of it. I am. I'm not a bully. I don't go looking for fights. But with I mean, if that guy was sitting there, he was. I mean, I turned my head. He was completely turned around. Like
He was looking for something.
Yeah, he had already stopped too.
He was looking for a dust up, and you were looking for a dust up.
I'm always looking for a dust up, and
okay.
And I'm sure he'd never gotten hammered like that. It's probably going to be kind of an emotionally scarring thing for him. But listen to him.
So you literally punched this guy in the face at the dispensary?
Smoke shop.
Smoke shop. Okay.
Yeah. Next door to the dispensary of jars on Lake Pleasant.
Damn. Well, it's too bad you couldn't get that footage.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's the one I was sending about. Yeah, I thought for sure I'm sending it and fucking it doesn't get anything. It's getting nothing.
Okay,
I thought I filmed him in the dirt, not getting up, but I didn't get it.
It was self-defense.
Yes.
1,000%. I'm gonna go back today
and apologize.
No, you apologize to the store. Say, listen, I might give him some money or something. Say, listen.
Here's $5 for causing that ruckus.
And I'll be honest with you, the same guy has kind of screwed me over at the smoke shop as of late.
I went down. You were stupid.
Yeah, he did. I'm not. I'm not stupid. No, but I went down there to get stuff, and he's telling me he's like, oh, this is $11, and I see the price says $7. I'm like, huh. At the end, I'll talk to him, and then that's when the dust up happened. So I scurried because thank God my transaction was done when I scurried out of there.
We had the Contender Series, the opening season of the Contender Series go on last night, and fighting is just fucking brutal.
Crazy,
dude.
man.
It just
Crazy
pisses
sport.
you off. It just pisses you off sometimes. You have remember On came on the show, very
Good kid,
skilled.
man.
Like I said, he does everything top to bottom, what he needs to do. He has a lot of confidence.
Trains hard.
Knocked a lot of good people out in the LFA. One little mistake, overparried on the jab. Well, the kid just threw an left hook, boom, stepped forward with it.
But did he pump so I didn't see it. Did he pump that jab to make that parry come out?
I don't know if it was earlier on or something, but it just the last sequence, the kid just stepped forward, lead with left hook, boom, and it hit him right on the chin, dude.
How long did it take him to wake up?
A little while.
That's sad.
Fucking brutal. And
Jose,
I just feel bad for On too, because he's worked so hard for so many fucking years.
He was ready for this, man. That's what you can be as ready as you want for a fight, but you take one to the beak and
one mistake.
Yep.
And I messaged him and said, hey, you the man, brother. You will be back, no doubt. Just a part of your journey. He said, thank you, bro. What or how do you process this emotion? I don't know how to feel right now.
That's sad.
And I just said, you need to focus on what's truly important. Your family and team still love you the same. And when you claw back to become champion, it'll make your story even that much more epic, which is fucking true.
That's cool, man. That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
that's cool
that's
you say it to him.
Fucking sad, that kind of shit.
That's going to mean a lot to him, man.
But that's okay. He's going to be back.
Yeah, he will.
And then we had Jose Delgado. I first met him. He came in when I was teaching the amateur team at the MMA lab.
Oh, really?
Yep. And then he was always a good, decent athlete, long, the nicest fucking dude.
Yeah,
no one
dude.
deserves it more than him. And he had a good fight too. And then he came in southpaw, threw a straight left, a knee right behind it, and fucking flatlined the kid.
Wow.
Got his contract.
He's got a lot of fucking ability, man. Jose does. He's really, really good.
Dude.
He works a lot with. I was working a lot with him, but he works a lot with Benson.
I was so happy for him.
Heck yeah.
So fucking happy for him.
Same
He
to me.
deserves it. So this new thing that's been coming out with people who got the vaccine, popcorn lung.
Oh, I'm familiar.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
And in what ways are you familiar?
When Lisa, not from the vaccine, but when Lisa was going to school, when she was getting a respiratory therapist, she was telling me that when people would take a deep breath in, it sounds like a snap, crack, pop, or like what the fuck is that? I don't think that's the same thing I was talking about.
Oh my God.
That looks like fucking piss inside of a lung.
Popcorn lung. And imagine how the people feel. Imagine how the people feel, the mothers or the parents or the grandparents that are just like, you need to do it.
Dude.
The government's looking at, and now that these problems happen. What do you think yourselves now? I wonder what those people think. Or do they just like, wasn't that?
Well,
It's just
some people are definitely like that, but the people that and almost forced everybody to get that vaccine. I mean, there's no accountability. Like fucking Fauci, that motherfucker is just stumbling along like nothing happened. I mean, people are having a really hard time with that shit. Like they were trying to get Lisa and my dad to take it, who have heart problems anyways. They would have fucking for sure died, for sure.
Oh, it would have croaked. Popcorn lung, also known as bronchiolitis obliterans, can cause coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath. Yes. Last time I did some exercise with Joe, I heard that sound.
You lied.
Especially during and after exercise. Now Joe's been smoking his bags. He sent me a little video of him smoking
I was
his
on the phone.
bag.
My daughter was I called Tim. And then we were talking about Rampage. He's like, listen, don't you go smoking a couple bags and forget what we talked about? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Jamie's like, what are you bags? I'm like, he's just rambling, Peanut.
He's just dumb.
He's just tired. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
So you've been enjoying that Volcano?
Oh, I cleaned it last. Yeah, I'm cleaning it for no reason.
I tell you what, you're going to sleep like shit and you're going to feel like shit if you smoke that thing and don't drink water.
Oh, dude, I had the worst headache.
You got to drink water?
Yeah, more so than normal, too. Like I'm getting a gallon down each time. People laugh like it's hard. It gets hard for me. I don't know why.
Well, dude, maybe we can grab a couple of those little flavor packets, the element salt packets.
I'll give you like the normal hydration packets.
I'll give you a case after this, and you can put them in your gallon, and it won't be as
What's
strong.
In
this is just the Spade. Sparkling.
I'm just fucking drinking. It could be fucking piss.
No, it's fine. All right, here we go. Co-Intelligence, Living and Working with AI. This is a new book out. An invaluable, clear, and optimistic guide which brilliantly captures the essence of our evolving relationship with AI and how we can collaborate productively with it. I would highly recommend it. First lesson, creating superintelligence is the most important task for humanity. Providing boundless upside, a superintelligent AI could, in theory, cure disease, solve global warming, and issue an era of abundance, acting as a benevolent machine god. I don't really know how I was going at with this one here.
Well, are you afraid of AI? I used to. I mean, I think it can do a lot of cool stuff.
I always liked where Elon said on the Joe Rogan podcast, he might as well, it's better to be optimistic and wrong than fucking pessimistic and right.
That's fuck yeah, for sure. That's actually a great. I
thought that was good. Okay, so you're seeing a lot of these pop up these days. Life coaches. Now, what kind of qualifications should you need to become one? I was watching this TLC show last night. This 24-year-old girl.
What TLC show? A new one?
Living Off Grid. It's a very good one. You'll like.
We haven't spoke about this.
No, it's good.
I've been wrapped up in Forbidden Love.
Oh yeah. Forbidden Love.
You catch a new one
coming out. Oh yeah.
Nice.
But this life coaching stuff, it's like you got to be careful.
Well, people will take advice from anybody. They really will. I mean, and then people that shouldn't be giving advice do it all the time. They think they feel important. You know? And
that maybe those people are probably pretty dangerous.
So if you're giving life advice and you have no fucking there's nothing that tells you should be doing it. Yeah, they're dangerous for sure.
Like you don't. Yeah.
Imagine if you went to a life coach and you're in the the fork of the road of your life and they're telling you to stay away from coaching, just keep the path for fighting. I mean that'd be fucking bad for your life.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would you listen to a life coach that was telling you?
I'd be very curious on their background and what you've done. How is your relationship with your wife? How is your relationship with your kids? How financially actually stable are you? And how actually at peace are you with yourself? And how healthy of a person are you? Then maybe I'd be like, okay, this is someone I want to emulate.
It comes from a real place.
Yeah. I mean, getting some real fucking knowledge here. All right, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Number 1, know yourself and know your competition. Understand your strengths and weaknesses and limitations, as well as those of your competitors. This self-awareness will enable you to make better decisions and develop effective strategies. Number 2, strategy is key. Plan and strategize before taking action. Success comes before careful analysis, foresight, and strategic thinking. Consider all possible outcomes and devise a plan accordingly. That might be a bit much for fighting sometimes.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Consider all possible outcomes in a fight. There's infinite, right?
For sure.
Infinity.
Infinite. Yes.
Infinity amount.
Yes.
Strategy. I mean, you want to have a strategy, but sometimes you got to be able to change it on the fly. Something happens. You're like, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this in the second. I'm going to do it in the third. Well, in the first round, you threw a kick and you broke your foot. So now that plan might need to change a little bit.
For fighting or just?
No, it's just the Art of War book.
Have you read that book?
I've just kind of skimmed through it.
Think that would be a good read for me?
I don't know. Joe was recently at the Barnes and Nobles.
Per se. Yeah.
Per se.
I was there.
And he was looking for a book, and I recommended the Naval book. And you ordered it? The Naval.
No, I didn't.
That's the one you need.
Yeah.
That's one you'll be interested in, and each page is a few sentences.
Yay! Fucking
so
big
he
hair.
can keep the focus.
So I can just keep on task, have a couple pictures in there. Oh, God.
Yes.
Dude, it's
So
hard to admit that you can't read a fucking book. It's
well, bro, if you're not into it at all and you could give a fuck about what you're reading and it's dumb
true.
shit. And a lot of times in books when people are telling stories, I'm like, how true is this story? How much are you twisting this shit for this book? I'm not really.
Have you thought about writing a book?
I mean, maybe one day. I think so much goes into it, more goes into it than people think, and I think it's way harder than people think to do that. One day it'd be kind of cool though. Adaptability is essential. Be flexible and adaptable in the face of change. Circumstances and competition can evolve rapidly, and your ability to adjust your strategies accordingly will give you an advantage. Information is power. Gather as much information as possible about your competitors, the market, and the environment. This knowledge will help you make informed decisions and stay one step ahead. When you were fighting, how much film would you like to watch on your opponent?
None. I was actually I would watch. Like if most of the time I knew who they were a little bit, but if
you just watch what stance they're in, maybe.
Yeah, and then I would have somebody else watch tape of them because I would sit there and overanalyze everything and fucking
just watch on replay them knocking someone out.
Yeah, fuck. And I would just see myself.
Just visualization.
There was I forget what UFC it was when we were in Vegas. I fought Ron Stallings. I was sick like a couple weeks before we went to Vegas. So like when we got there, I was what 217. I had to get to 185 on the Tuesday, and then
something fucking absurd. And I look at Joe. I'm like, he's supposed to be drinking a gallon or 2 gallons a day, and I look at
he does a couple diet everything there.
Couple sips of that gallon. I'm like.
Yeah, and I'm pissing fucking
gold as fuck.
Yeah, but so anyways, we see Ron Stallings out in the we were at the Hard Rock, and
traps went up a bit.
Yeah, and then I'm like he's fucking tiny, and then Tim's like, yeah, he is. I'm like, thanks, man. And then see the weigh-in pictures. I'm like, no, he's not. And then I'm looking at every little thing. I'm like, look at his hands. Look at my little hands.
I bet he hits hard.
Yeah, I bet he's gonna fucking knock me out. So yeah, stay away from that.
Okay, timing is crucial. Choose the right moment to act. Patience and timing are essential for success. Waiting for the opportune moment can give you a significant advantage over your competition. I mean, that's very, very true, especially for counter punchers. Coming out, maybe you're not throwing a lot at the first. There's some fighters who need to come out there. They're not very fast twitch. They need to come out there and just put the pace on you. Get started first. Put the pace on you. Change up. Just get started first. But there's some people. You're a good counterpuncher. Sean's a good counterpuncher that can sit there and wait. And just like Coach Eric was saying, just waiting for that person to swing and not worrying about defending it, looking for the holes that are open. Boom, boom, where he's not doing something right.
I'm the opposite, you know, because I've been a counterpuncher my whole career. But then when I'm first, I'm much more effective. It's always been hard to do that, you know. Not for you.
I mean, I never really kind of fought to my potential. Like you said.
No, you haven't.
Never really.
But yeah, either. That's why it's hard to live with when you haven't. You know, if you didn't go on and do great things in your life, would that be a hard thing to settle on?
Well, I'd probably still fight. I'd probably just take some fights here and there, and
yeah, it's a hard thing to fight.
It's not really, but I don't really think of it as that. I don't ever sit there and stew like, God, I never got to fight as good as I know I could. Is it fun?
No, it's not. It leads to me in the fucking corner, just looking up. Dad coming out, not now, damn it. Yeah.
Okay. Focus on develop disciplined habits. Cultivate discipline both in your actions and in your thinking. Consistency and self-control are essential for achieving long-term success and outperforming your competitors. We're trying to work on Joe's sleep here and getting him off TikTok till the early mornings.
Just going to fucking sleep. Like last night, I've tried to lay off the bags at night. So I laid there at night and just blinking.
Thinking about the bag.
I hear a little crackling. I'm like, No, I'm hard to sleep without it, And then because what's better, taking a bunch of sleeping pills or smoking weed? Honestly?
Well, I mean, it's probably better to do a little piece of an edible and not get super fucking blazed. You get super blazed, and then about 2 a.m. or whenever you go to bed, 2, 3 a.m., and then the high wears off, and then you're wide awake, like fuck.
Has that happened to you? You get stirred up at 2 a.m.
If I smoke a ton before bed, which I don't think's good.
I don't smoke a ton. I can't. It's not like that. But it still will. When I find like I do smoke too much, and then I'll be way into a TV show or something stupid in the living room. I won't go to sleep till 5.
And I don't know how much it matters really, but maybe if you're smoking a sativa, that kind of keeps you up compared to indica that puts you to sleep.
I can't tell fucking either of them. They all fucking run my dick in the dirt.
Well, yeah, you'll be able to tell if you smoke one and you fucking pass out, or you smoke one and you're wired watching TLC.
Nod off like a junkie.
So what'd you have for breakfast this morning?
Nothing. So again,
bowl of Apple Jacks.
Yeah, I woke up super late, but usually I don't usually eat until later on in the evening.
Just stop by the gas station, grab a fucking
roller
dog.
See a roller dog?
For real.
Did you go roller dog?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, but for real.
Oh fuck. Oh,
what are you gonna eat?
When I eat? Sugar packet or two. No, Lisa has my meals made out. So
just a ham sandwich with a cheese.
With the Kraft cheese. No, Lisa made a bunch of stuffed jalapeno, stuffed peppers for me. They're good. So I'll eat that when I get home.
And then that'll be your only meal.
Yes.
Stuffed fucking peppers. No, those stuffed peppers are good, actually.
You want some? I'll bring some by.
No.
Oh, no. Just gonna fucking asshole.
Build strong alliances. Foster positive relationships and alliances with like-minded individuals or organizations. Collaborative efforts can lead to mutual growth and increased competitiveness.
What do you think about that?
I think it's good. Having good relationships, if you run into someone who's just never has had a friend for over 3 years, they can't keep a friend, the relationships aren't good, they just they talk shit on everybody. You hear them just talk shit on everybody. It's like, why?
Will you bring it to somebody's attention when they're just shitting on people? Will you? I've started to do it lately. I'll bring it up. If they're just talking shit, I'll say something because it makes me think, what are they going to say about me? What are they going to be talking shit about me when I leave, for sure.
Or maybe because it's easy to get caught in that, like just wanting to gossip and talk shit.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Like trying to navigate it away from that. Like, I'm not really into that. Let's just talk about something else.
Absolutely.
Embrace innovation. Constantly seek new ideas, methods, and technologies to stay ahead of the competition. Embracing innovation allows you to find unique solutions and maintain an edge in a rapidly changing world. I feel like I'm pretty good about that. We have so many different wrestlers from different schools, like different colleges and stuff, and they all have different tricks. They all have a little detail when it comes to defending a single leg or defending a high crotch or finishing the single leg, finishing the high crotch. It's the same move, but they all have so many little details.
That's for sure.
And I enjoy learning about those kind of things. So. Stay calm under pressure. Maintain a composed and focused mindset even in the face of challenges or setbacks. The ability to stay calm under pressure will help you make rational decisions and overcome obstacles. Easier said than done. Easier fucking said than done. When you're in a fight here and you need the money, and you're in a fight and you fucking need the win, you're thinking about the win. This win is so important. So you're not sitting there in the moment thinking about winning each exchange, winning each wrestling scramble, winning each round, just being in the moment. You're thinking, I need the fucking win.
Yeah, especially when you're at the UFC and you have your win bonus and you have a possible performance bonus. That fucking just fills up almost every thought I have. Honestly,
I bet.
I think about it, especially when you go into a fight and you only have so much money at home and you have this and that, and then. Fuck yeah, I think about that more than anything. It has a lot to do with the way I fight. I'll be careful not to take chances, not to get caught cracking the beak, for sure.
And that's the one thing we've talked about with that Brandon Harris, the breathing. Even before Sean's sparring, they come in here, they'll do 10 minutes of breathing, sit him down, put him through like similar breathing protocols that he was putting us through, just to bring him right in the moment, open up his lungs. And like I said, we've always said it. I mean, Sugar's one of the best I've ever seen to just be in the moment.
Fuck, man. You can tell, man. If you know what you're looking at, you can tell people. You can tell athletes when they're like that.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not. I never have been. It's all right though.
Yep, it is. It is. It is.
It's fucking fat head.
So what else you got going on today? Anything good?
Yes, actually, I bought 2 properties yesterday. One for $16,000, one for $4,500.
Where at?
It is. It's in one's on 43rd Avenue, Glendale. One's on 51st Avenue, Bethany.
43rd in Glendale.
Trailer parks.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
The thing about those trailer parks, but then you have to do lot rent.
No, yeah, it's true. That's very true. But I mean, it's
You just don't do it.
yeah, you go in there squat. No, but I got this one. They're both one bed, one bath, but they take some work. But I'll be able to make 50, 60 grand each of them,
That's awesome.
and only a week's worth of putting shit into them. Because there's the people that live in those things they're the decay of society. I'm just kidding. No, there's people there's people struggling.
Hello. Could you
Hey, what's up, brother?
good talking to you. This is Ryan Allen we got on the line.
Hey.
How you been, Ryan?
Good. I'm just coming off 2 weeks of having surgery on my meniscus.
And how's that been?
It's not fun. I mean, I'm on crutches for about 4 more weeks, but I'm physically recovering.
Okay, so we hear in the text here, you sent me some text here. You said Gen Z sucks. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I mean, have you seen a lot of my generation and how crazy it is?
Yeah.
What's the cutoff for Gen Z?
What's the cutoff for Gen Z there, Ryan?
Like 2012, I think.
2012. Young
Yeah, you hit that
bucks.
right on the head. You're right. You're very right.
And then you said Zoomers need to get off of social media and not be FAGs, which I know you didn't mean that, by vaping and get off the antidepressant meds and get active. I think that is
Who are
very
you
true.
to judge?
So I was watching this video of a dude who was in his 40s, and it was something along the lines of, you're in your 20s, you still have time, watch this video. And the guy literally says stuff like, hey, the best antidepressant is going to the gym. Honestly, the vaping is just not healthy, and it's like, time passes so quick. You don't want to just sacrifice your health because health is wealth, and it's just like the vaping is just so bad for you, and yet so many people who are even younger than me are doing it. And it's like, I've been to like bars and stuff before clubbing. Like, there's so many people going out and vaping and doing some really unhealthy things.
Just
And instead
sucking
of,
on
like,
that vape, huh?
What else besides vaping do you see
Sipping.
in your ventures?
Vaping is gay.
What else do you see? What kind of behaviors do you see besides vaping that's causing
Well,
the
it's just-
downfall?
It's just people acting crazy, doing like all these sorts of drugs and stuff,
Yeah.
and then getting really, really drunk. But it's like, is alcohol even really worth it? Because it's like, you have to force yourself to kind of tolerate it, and it's just like you wake up the next day vomiting, and I'm just like,
There's a time and place. I mean, it is definitely when you're drinking alcohol, you're poisoning yourself.
Isn't it
You're
the worst
willingly
thing?
poisoning
Worst thing for your
yourself.
body for a single time use is alcohol?
I think for athletic performance, it's the number one. But if you're around some chicks, some females, and you're wanting to loosen up and let that RIZZ muscle work a little bit, Ryan,
RIZZ muscle.
then you take a couple sips and let loose.
Have you ever drank, buddy?
no,
You ever vaped?
no, never.
You don't know what you're missing, buddy.
No,
Just
vaping.
kidding.
No. The thing is, you have to go and you dance, and then you get some chicks dancing around you, and then they're interested because they're having fun, and that loosens them
Hey,
up,
look
and you
at
don't
you.
even need to drink.
What if you make a fool of yourself like I have many times on the dance floor? That's hard to come back from that.
Or
Who
you,
gives a fuck?
or you slide in for, a kiss and get
motherfucker.
just swerved.
Burn.
No, the thing is, you don't touch if they don't want to be touched, though. If they're
Says
like
you.
initiating touch, then you could maybe like do it, but the
Or
thing
do you
is,
ask
though,
them,
it's
hey,
like,
you want to be touched?
How about I just have you gyrate your hips ever so slightly on the leg and make noises like.
So, I mean, I miss you, Ryan. How's everything been going? You've been not driving yourself crazy after the surgery here?
No, I'm trying to keep a low profile, lay low.
What
Not
happened?
look at anything really, just like kind of just focus on getting a lot better, going through physical therapy and everything, and getting back to the gym.
Okay, this was a good one. This one here, you said, the feminization of men needs to die, and you sent me a couple pics here of
Bad
some
boy.
guys.
Right on.
Looking a little bit femmy, which...
Let me see.
I don't really judge that. Do
I
you,
do.
Ryan? Or
I do right
if
away.
you see that kind of guy, do you avoid
I'll
him?
slap him right off his fucking high heels. What I'll do. That's a damn fucking shame. If my daughter drug home some gimp like that, after I got done working him over, I'd work his father over.
But he's a nice guy.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine a fishnet shirt wearing gimp coming. Hey,
Yeah. See, that's your
life.
That's your
Fear.
I don't even know what it is.
Especially if he's in a smoke shop. You got to watch out for those guys.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then-
KO coming.
Yeah, lights out. Wait, how many text messages have you seen as Ryan send?
Quite a bit. I enjoy him.
Hey, those pictures are great, Ryan. I do. Is he still on the phone?
Ryan,
Yeah.
what'd you have for breakfast this morning?
I had a grilled cheese sandwich with some turkey on it.
And
but
you
like,
want to run me down?
typically, I don't like to actually eat breakfast. I wait till lunch because I feel like sometimes eating less and working out more helps me feel less bloated.
Yeah.
I feel the same way, man. I feel if I skip a meal every once in a while, it's good for me.
This was an interesting text. You said lima beans are the worst.
Yeah, they just what's the point? They're disgusting. It's like mayo. Who wants mayo?
Me, I fucking love mayo.
I don't mind mayo. See, that's your opinion there. Mayo's
Tread
lima
carefully, my
beans. I'm
friend.
definitely not a huge fan of.
I don't like that.
Lima beans, soybeans, keep me away from those because I will never eat them.
Soybeans give you big old areolas.
Yeah, I want food.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's just areolas. That's not the tit. That's just
Yeah.
the circumference of the nip.
We got some fights coming up. So what do you think's going to happen with Merab? Someone give you $10,000 to bet, and you have to bet it right now. Give it to us straight too.
So Merab is tough. Like, I'm not denying that. It's just for 25 minutes, it's hard to not see Merab kind of get knocked out because it's just like he's really good. But if he's talking about going and striking with Sean, it's kind of hard to see Merab going 25 minutes without getting knocked out. But like he is legitimately tough. I mean, he went 5 rounds with Piotr Jan and completely dominated. Eventually, like he kind of helped with Henry Cejudo, but like stylistically, Sean might be kind of a nightmare for him. And the only reason I kind of suspected Cheeto could probably do a little better is because Cheeto could strike a little bit better and has a better chin.
You thought
than
Cheeto would
Merab,
win?
But like, I think Sean will probably win against Merab is my guess.
Did you think he was going to lose, Cheeto?
He said it was going to be close.
And probably knocks him out first or second round. Because, I mean, Sean also has the most power in that bantamweight division.
Okay, so what are some qualities you're looking for in a real woman? If you're looking for a woman,
Does
for
he have
yourself.
one? Does he have a girlfriend?
He's currently
Are you
looking.
on the hunt?
Ryan, you have a few?
Well, so one thing I'd say, more of like a traditional one that's not wanting to be like full on feminization or anything. Like feminism, I think, is just not really helping anyone. Like, for instance, that Barbie movie really helped push feminism last year, and it's just like, what's the point now? Like, I don't really see a point.
So you want a more traditional woman who's going to kind of stay home, make you a turkey cheese sandwich.
Grilled
If
cheese.
she has a career, that's fine too. But like, I guess one that's also got her head on straight and not doing drugs all the time. Clearly not an OnlyFans model, because boy, I would never date that.
What if you met someone you really liked that was a butthole model?
She had a previous OnlyFans.
If she deleted it, then it would be fine.
Everyone's got their price, don't they?
So this text here, Friday 3:30, said Astrobot is going to be tits. What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, there's a game called Astrobot that's coming out that I think looks fun. The video game industry is in like a really, really bad state because you have this whole big consulting firm that these companies are hiring called Sweet Baby Inc. And they're basically making games more diverse or whatever. But like, when you look at like the appeal of like, say, media, the most important thing is it fun to watch? And like, is this actually like something that's worth consuming? Like, for example, I watched The Boys season 4 recently and it was not that great. I mean, literally, like, all the weird.
There's a lot of gay
sort of,
scenes in that show.
Nothing wrong with that.
The most gay love.
So The Boys season 1 is great. Season 2 and 3 are pretty good. And then season 4, it's like the writers went off the rails and it's like, hey, Jack Quaid, you play Huey, right? Fart into a cake. That's comedy, right? Seeing Huey get tortured, that's great. That's really, really funny.
I think that shit's funny. I do.
Okay, how about this one? The Alex Pereira story. The Alex story today is dumb gossip. Your thoughts on that? You think that woman was lying?
Probably. I mean, she's an OnlyFans.
Of course she was lying. That bitch.
She was lying. She was definitely lying. She deleted a lot of her shit. So
again, there's nothing that's going to happen to that girl, is there? She's just going to go on with her fucking whore life and live her whore life. That's fucked up, man. I really think that whatever charge they were trying to seek on the man, if they find out it's fake, needs to go to that bitch.
Oh, isn't that the truth? Well, Ryan, hope you have a good day, brother. Great catching up with you, and heal up from that surgery. And you're more than welcome to come visit the dojo. I'd love to get you a coffee and show you the coffee shop.
Oh, would love to, brother.
All right, love you, brother. Good talking to you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Is he in Arizona?
Yeah, out there on Tempe area.
Have you met him before?
Yes.
Is he wound tight a little bit?
No, he's just a character. He's a fucking.
Well, it sounds he's got a lot of opinions about a lot of shit.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. How did you meet that guy?
At jiu-jitsu. He's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
You've had him on the phone before, right?
Yes.
His voice, okay.
Yes. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, what are we at here for time? Probably about an hour 15 here. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hit that like and subscribe button. And thanks for watching, you guys. On Snapchat, I'm Snapchatting my days, Tim Welch MT. And then we have the Confidential Show, comes out every week. It's one of my favorite shows we do, and it's only on patreon.com/RedHawk Academy. We can get real juicy on there. Also, I'm doing some reaction to fights, some street fights weekly on there. Street fights, street beefs, and having a good time. So if you're an ultimate supporter, patreon.com/RedHawk Academy. If not, hit that like and subscribe button. Comment what you think below, and I'll talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Bye-bye.